In the world of marathon training, you hear about a lot of different strategies, a ton of theories, and so many workouts. But there's one that's reached this, well, almost mythical status. It promises to be a crystal ball, predicting your race day performance down to the minute. Today, we're taking a hard look at the legendary Yasso 800s.
So let's just get right into it. The main claim here is almost too good to be true, right? The idea that one single track session can tell you with spooky accuracy exactly how fast you're going to run 26.2 miles. Is this some kind of secret weapon that runners have been using for years, or is it just a widely believed running myth? Let's dig in and find out.
All right, so where did the so-called magic formula even come from? Well, it's a story about simplicity, a neat correlation, and one really influential guy in the running world. So the workout itself, it's actually pretty simple. It got famous thanks to Bart Yasso, a total running icon from Runner's World. I mean, the guy has run races on all 7 continents. The workout is just 10 800-meter repeats. That's 2 laps on a normal track, over and over. Sounds straightforward, but the magic, as they say, is all in the time. And this is exactly why it's so appealing. Look how clean this is. Let's say your goal is a 3-hour, 10-minute marathon. You just aim to run your 10 800-meter repeats in 3 minutes and 10 seconds each. And the recovery jog you take in between, also 3 minutes and 10 seconds. You can't deny how elegant that is. Your marathon time in hours and minutes just becomes your 800-meter time in minutes and seconds.
And the confidence from the creator himself was just off the charts. Bart Yasso said he used this method for 15 years, and for him, it worked. He found that his performance in this one workout just consistently lined up with his marathon results. It was his personal, totally reliable fitness barometer.
But the whole idea really blew up when Amby Burfoot, a former Boston Marathon champ, wrote about it for Runner's World back in 2001. He's the one who named them Yasso 800s. And after talking to about 100 runners, we're talking everyone from 209 marathoners to people running over 4 hours, he declared that the formula held up for everybody. And just like that, it became gospel.
But, like with any legend, the skeptics started to pop up. Runners on forums and message boards started asking, hey, is this perfect formula really a rule, or is it just a coincidence? And that brings us to a really important idea in statistics.
And this quote really gets to the core of the whole debate. Just because 2 things seem to happen together, it doesn't mean one is causing the other. Sure, Bart Yasso noticed a strong correlation for himself, but does that mean it's some universal law of running physiology? Okay, now take a look at this chart. It does such a great job of making the point. Between 1999 and 2009, the data shows a nearly perfect link between the number of highway fatalities in the US and the number of fresh lemons imported from Mexico. So, does that mean importing fewer lemons makes our roads safer? Of course not. That's ridiculous. It's a classic example of a spurious correlation, and it's a fantastic reminder that you've got to be critical when you look at data. Okay, so with that little statistics lesson in mind, let's see what happens when we take some real-world data from actual runners and put the Yasso 800s to the test. So meet Ryan Phillips. He's a very talented, experienced runner, a former D1 athlete. You'd think if the Yasso prediction is going to work for anyone, it's got to work for a high-caliber athlete like him, right? Well, he tried it out for 2 different marathon training blocks. Let's really break down the numbers in this table, because this is where it gets interesting. For the Chicago Marathon, you can see his Yasso average was 2 minutes and 26 seconds. That predicted a 2-hour and 26-minute marathon. But look at his actual time, 2:36:17. Then we see the same pattern for Boston. A 2:23 workout average predicted a 2:23 marathon finish, but his actual time was 2:30:35. In both cases, the prediction was way, way faster than what he actually ran. And this number just slams the point home. For his Chicago race, the Yasso prediction was off by over 10 minutes. Let that sink in for a second. 10 minutes is an absolute eternity in a marathon. That's the difference between hitting a huge personal best and just having a miserable, painful day. This is not a small error margin. And you know what? Ryan's experience is not some freak occurrence. It turns out tons of runners report the same thing. The prediction is consistently too optimistic, often by a good 5 to 10 minutes. This really suggests there's a fundamental problem with the formula itself, not just a couple of random bad races. Okay, so if the numbers just don't add up, we have to ask the big question, why? And the answer is really in the basic fundamental difference between what's demanded of you in a short, intense workout versus a long, grueling race.
Right. Why is there such a massive gap? Why does a workout that feels like it should be in the right ballpark end up being so darn misleading? Well, it's because the workout and the race are testing two completely different engines inside your body.
Let's break this down. Yasso 800s are fast. They'll run near your 5K race pace. It's a classic VO2 max workout, built to test your body's absolute maximum oxygen uptake. But, and this is key, you get a full recovery jog after every single one. The marathon? It's a totally different beast. It's all about aerobic endurance, your ability to just hold a steady, moderate pace for hours on end. There's no recovery, and it's a massive, massive drain on your body's fuel. They're just not the same thing. A runner can be absolutely amazing at short, fast repeats, but completely lack the deep endurance to hold a strong pace for 3, 4, even 5 hours. The Yasso workout just can't measure your ability to manage your fuel, or what happens when your glycogen stores run low. It says nothing about your mental strength when you hit mile 20 and things get really, really hard.
So, now that we've kind of busted the myth, where does that leave all of us? Let's talk about the final verdict, and then look at some much more reliable tools you can actually use to set your marathon goals. Okay, so here's the bottom line. Yasso 800s, they're a great workout. They're tough, they build speed, they improve your VO2 max. But they are not a magic marathon predictor. I saw one person put it perfectly. It's a reinforcer, not a crystal ball. Meaning, if you can't hit your Yasso times, you probably can't run that marathon time. But just because you can hit them doesn't guarantee a thing. If you want a much more accurate prediction, you should look at other things. A recent tune-up race, like a half marathon, is honestly one of the best indicators you can have. Calculators based on Jack Daniels' VDOT tables are statistically super solid. And workouts like fast finish long runs, those test your actual marathon-specific endurance in a way Yasso's just can't. And in the end, maybe we've all been asking the wrong question. Maybe this whole search for one magical predictor workout completely misses the point. The best indicator of what you can do on race day isn't one special session on the track. It's the sum total of all of it. All your long runs, your tempo miles, and all that consistent training. The real magic isn't in some simple formula. It's in the work itself.